right, this is the issue segment where we talk about topical issue in the society. And for today, November 25, 2024, we have a special day that is being celebrated all over the world. And today is International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. We are here again to talk about women and what goes against women, and we want to go against those things that goes against women. And we have a guest in the house who will be doing justice to our questions. We have a guest who is so passionate about women, children, the development of the society, and she is someone in the category to talk about what women are going through and how we can stop that menace in the society. Our guest is OLORI MATEMILOLA, and she is an author, a lawyer, a public relations person, and someone who enjoys talking to the public. You're welcome to the program, OLORI.
Thank you
for always coming on the program.
Thank you for having me again.
All right, today is International Day of Elimination of Violence Against Women.
Correct.
As a woman, I know that you must have seen a lot of things that people or the society are doing against women. Can you mention some and why you think we should celebrate this day and talk about some things that affects them?
Okay, we're talking about gender-based violence, so any form of violence against women, and there are a few of them. There are very basic ones like the physical abuse, there's emotional abuse, and sexual abuse as well. There are others. There's one called femicide, you know, and then there's human trafficking. That's also a form of inflicting harm on women. There's also harmful practices, you know, female genital mutilation, you know. So all of this is what we see in our society, and what we're trying to do is eliminate, right? And in eliminating, we'll continue to talk about it, continue to create that awareness, so we can actually change mindsets, you know, and then set a new rule for how women should be treated. And that's basically what it is all about. That's basically what it is all about. How can we do that? Take, for instance, in some societies where there's the female genital mutilation, I mean, it has no health benefit. You know, instead it creates more problems. You find some women even die, you know, some girls, young girls die because in some societies they do it when they're young to maybe like 15 or something. And I think that's not it's not on at all. That's not on at all. And we really need to continue to speak to these women to let them know that it is not something that they should do, you know, to girls. Yeah.
Okay. I have a question for you, ma'am. My first question has to do with girl-child marriage. I know it's a cultural thing, and there's a word you use, they say elimination. Somehow it didn't really sit well with me because I felt this gender-based violence has really taken lives. You know, it's like this femicide, you know, crime against a lady because she's a woman. So what are steps that should be taken, not just to eliminate, at least, I was looking at the records in United Nations website, like 51,100 women have passed, in one way or the other, have passed through this violence against them. And
so much more. Maybe.
Yeah, the records keep,
because they say 1 out of every 3 women, yes, you know, go through this. I mean, we have cyberbullying too, you know, that and on women as well, especially when names calling and you know, there's nothing wrong body shaming, you know, there's nothing wrong with who you are. You need to be comfortable with your skin, with your body, you know, and just be natural. But you see, there's some people who are very stereotyped, you know, and they'll just be naming people and bullying people with certain type of body, like Oswa or Robo now, you know. So we're big, and yet they'll say, you know, you're fat, you're this, you're that. You know, there's nothing wrong with being well, you could tend towards being healthy. You understand? You could be big-bodied and yet be healthy, and you can be really slim and be unhealthy. You know, so it's all about, you know, the person and how you take care of yourself, really. So
how do the perpetrators walk free on the road? Those that rape, those that kill, you know, this case of Christiana, how do we stop it? What are the laws, what are the steps government is taking to make sure that people get scared?
I think like every other situation that we have in the country, and I'm just talking about our jurisdiction because that's where I know about. We have very good policies. We have people, you know, put in these offices to actually execute these policies. But very honestly, you know, I really don't know what the problem is. You know, if we have these things detailed, I would say this is what should happen when X, Y, Z happens. You know, it's just to follow it by the letter. But somehow, you know, you and I are here today trying to discuss it, and we do not know what exactly is going on. But I would say that we will just continue to push for it. You know, you see, we talk about women, children, the girl child all the time. We need to be talking about the boy child. You know, we need
because we are a bit disadvantaged somehow.
Yes, but somehow, you understand. But at the same time, I think we've done a lot of talking about it now. You know, there was a time when it was hot, you know, on the plate for us to talk about women and the girl child. And I think we've done so much. We will continue to do, but we need to bring in the boys back again. We need to start talking about the men. We need to start talking about the boys again. We need to help shape them up. Because it looks like everybody is just directed on the girls, like we are the only ones who have issues. The boys too do.
I get your point, because a lot of perpetrators are men. Yeah. And if you are not orientating them, they won't know the wrong in doing what they're doing.
And that's why we also need to create another forum to begin to talk about boys. Think about what their issues and their problems are and help them. You know, parents really have a lot to play in these issues.
I want to say something about female genital mutilation.
Okay.
So much has been done that they should stop this act, but it's still ongoing. What can be done?
It's called, like you said, cultural tradition. You know, cultural tradition. It's just like talking about religion. You understand? It's already set. You know, so it only takes an individual with a mind of, well, it doesn't matter whether I'm a Christian or a Muslim or a traditionalist. You understand? What matters is what's the right thing to do. You understand? And very honestly, in my own opinion, I don't think that is really something nice to do, really.
Yeah. We know that a lot of women are advocates of ending violence against women. The wife of the president came out some days ago to speak against it because you're still having 16 days of activism. And then a lot of Abeokuta Dabiri also spoke against it because she's in the forefront of telling people to stop human trafficking and all that. And I know that in Ogun State now watch to on the forefront to educate ladies, girls. They go to schools, they go to forums to speak against some things that affect women. And we are doing the same thing on this program, Ladies Rendezvous. Can we say that the level of awareness in the society is not enough? Or why are we going around this problem year in, year out? And the numbers are not really dropping.
Well, I don't want to say that the awareness is not enough, or I mean, like we're not doing enough of it. I think we are. We also need to think about the rural women, you know, because how many rural women have access to television? You understand? The radio. So it's about how do we disseminate this information to those different clusters. You understand? So we have, I mean, the people who are watching us now are probably in the urban area, right? So we call where we are. And then the rural women, how are they getting this information too? How do we intend to pass this same information to them? Because these are lifestyles or cultural traditions that were passed on to them too by their own forefathers. You understand? So we are now saying, oh, it's not the right thing to do, but we're on TV. How are they watching us? You know, I mean, how you understand now? Yes, you know. So we really need to go into the hinterlands, you know, into the rural, because these rural women, they need they form a basic part of our economic development. They do, whether they're doing subsistence farming for themselves and their family, or they're a part of a major group, producing so much, and it's really in farming. You understand? So they need a lot of skills acquisition program, relevant. For them to be, and for them also to develop their minds, to become exposed. You understand? To become exposed, to receive this kind of information from us, to say, you shouldn't be doing this female genital mutilation. It doesn't, otherwise, if you don't expose them to some of the things that we already know, then just coming to them and telling them what to do to change their mind, their orientation.
They will take it back.
We've been doing it, and
nothing happened.
Nothing happened. Well, okay, it was just a one of that 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 or 20 people died in the process. People died. You understand? It must be for one reason. That's the kind of thinking. Yes, So we need to change that and say, well, if they have to die for a reason, not for female genital mutilation.
But don't you think there are maybe punishments that should be made? Well, you mentioned culture and tradition, and I know Nigeria has a constitution, and constitution is the parent law, and human rights is, abuse of human rights is not tolerated in the constitution. Don't you think there should be stringent punishments for people that rape, or people that, push their children to marriage at early stage?
Well, for me, I'm a big advocate of alternative ways of resolving disputes. I'm a big advocate for that. Not so much adversarial in nature. So if I was to address this, I'll address it as me, as a person. So I think punishment, yes, well, should remain for capital, issues, offenses. It is bad enough to rape somebody because you actually strip that person of all kinds of decency. But at the same time, we need to also understand where that is coming from. Not in all cases. Some cases it's because the men or the women have mental issues. They have issues to deal with, emotional issues. Perhaps something from their childhood, or something that they just inherited, trauma, or something that, whatever it is that may be going on, one has to determine that first. Because don't forget, it's not only women who, the definition of rape tells what rape is, you understand? But the truth is, some women actually do this to young boys.
Yes.
So what would you call that as well? So we really need to, sometimes when we speak as women, right? You may just become public enemy number one because they're like, are you not a woman? Like, is it because you haven't experienced it? Seriously? You would have probably an auntie or a sister or somebody who has experienced this, you understand? But at the same time, you're trying to just stay on the path of truth.
Okay. All right, Olori, we want to thank you. Time will permit us to go beyond this, and we hope that your message has been passed, and people or stakeholders, people in authority will take actions and take some actions that will better the lives of ladies, females, girls, and now you said boys should be included, and we know that the society will be a better place. Thank you so much, Olori.
Thank you, ma'am.
MATEMILOLA, for coming on the program, and we hope this talk will somewhat reduce the speed of violence that we have in the society. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
And I want to thank my ladies too for coming on the program. Thank you for coming, and Lauren, thank you so much. And I want to thank myself too for being here. Thank you. And for those who work behind the camera, and those who work for the production of this program, thank you for working with us. And for our viewers too, we want to thank you. This is the last Monday in November 2022. We will come again next Monday to be in December, and by then we'll be shouting Merry Christmas in advance, and from here we want to say Merry Christmas in advance. We'll see you next Monday, God willing. Bye-bye.
Bye.